So today I'm going to talk about the effects of when good cortisol turns bad and the thyroid gland. So I know a lot of people in this group and doing the metabolic reset program right now are having some thyroid issues. And most of the time when people are experiencing thyroid issues, it's because of a condition called hypothyroidism. And that's when the thyroid gland is sluggish and not producing, enough thyroid hormone for what the body needs. And I won't go into it, but there is a whole plethora of tests that go along with it. Our medical system, whether you go to your general practitioner or if you go to a specialist like an endocrinologist, generally only run 1 or 2, maybe 3 or 4 tests when it comes to evaluating the thyroid. And there are many, many more. There's at least 7 or 8 just for the thyroid alone, and then other things that relate to the thyroid. But that's for another day and another topic. But just to put it out there, I wanted to let you guys know that the medical system usually just kind of skims the surface on what to do about hypo or even hyperthyroidism. And the reason why they do that is because they usually only know how to give 1 or 2 specific types of medication to remedy that. Well, as you're learning from being a part of this Facebook group and the metabolic reset program, is that there's way more to just giving a medication and covering up the symptoms. We need to find the root causes of what's going on. So guess what? Cortisol plays a super important part of your thyroid function. And good cortisol, when it is released in small amounts or in normal amounts, it decreases the conversion of T4 to T3. T3 is actually the usable form of the thyroid hormone. And that's usually one that the medical doctors don't often test. They only usually test T4. And you might think, well, this seems like a design flaw. Why would I want to decrease the conversion of T4 to T3 if I need to use that hormone, right? Our body needs that for proper metabolism. So this is because the body's smart. It has a certain level of homeostasis it wants to maintain, and that's a level of balance between hormones. So if your cortisol levels are super high, then the body's going to want to balance that with lowering the conversion of your T4 to your T3 hormone. So that's okay if you're having just really short bursts of cortisol release, right? If you're running away from that car that you're trying to escape so it doesn't hit you, and that only lasts, maybe those levels are elevated for like a half an hour or an hour. But if you are working at a job that you can't stand, if you're overworked and you're commuting an hour or 2 hours a day, and that's been going on for the past 15, 16 years, then that is going to cause a decrease of the thyroid conversion of T4 to T3. And that in the long term is going to really decrease thyroid function. And what that's going to do is that's going to create a low or a hypothyroid state. And that's where it's really going to slow your metabolism down. You might see weight gain. You might see your hair thinning. You might see your skin and your nails being a lot more brittle, and your extremities are cold, and you're just cold in general. So those things in the long run is when good cortisol turns bad. So I hope that helps you out. We are just skimming the surface in terms of managing our stress and seeing how that's really affecting a lot of other physiological functions in the body. Okay, so I hope that helps, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.